Hi everyone, my name is Molly Quinn and I'm with the Youth Service Department of the Fayetteville Public Library, and this is Teen Create, part of our 2020 summer reading lineup. Summer reading sign-ups are now open for all ages using Read Square, and we'd love to have you read along with us this summer. Be sure to visit faylib.org/calendar for our full list of summer reading programs, or like us on Facebook for new content every day. In this series, we will do some fun, creative activities just for teens. Today, I was inspired to make bread after I had just read the newest Hunger Games book, A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, available at the Fayetteville Public Library. Suzanne Collins really likes bread in the Hunger Games, if you've ever read it. Just a couple of examples that I came up with. The name of the country is literally named bread. It's basically in Latin. It's named after, it's the name of the country that used to be North America in the Hunger Games and is now called Panem, is a name that comes from the Latin phrase Panem et circusus. I'm sure I mispronounced that, but it basically means bread and circuses. And also, there's literally a character name in the original Hunger Games trilogy named after bread. Pita is just named after pita bread. So I thought it would be kind of fun to celebrate the release of the new book, making some Irish soda bread, which is a really fun type of bread. It's one of my favorite types of breads to make because what's really cool about it is it actually doesn't use yeast to rise. It uses buttermilk and baking soda to rise, which is kind of cool. Most of the ingredients are probably something that you have in your cupboard. You will need some buttermilk, a large egg, some flour, some sugar, baking soda, salt, and butter. So it's a relatively simple. It's a relatively simple type of bread to make. You can also add some raisins to it if you want, and make it a little bit more of a hearty meal if you wanted to do that. But you don't have to. I'm not going to add any today. It's good either way. So we're going to get going on I'm going to show you how to make this bread, this traditional Irish soda bread. So first, what you are going to do is you are going to whisk all the dry ingredients together. So what you will need is 4.5 cups of flour, okay? I'm just going to do roughly half here. You'll need 3 tablespoons of sugar. So 3. All right. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And about 1 teaspoon of some salt. All right, so you're going to want to whisk this together so it's nice and mixed up. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to cut 5 teaspoons of cold unsalted butter into the dry ingredients. This is similar to making a pie crust if you've ever done anything like that. But as you can see here on most butters, they just have how much a teaspoon is already on there, so we don't have to scoop it out or anything like that. This much butter, okay? So we are going to cut that into the dry ingredients here. And what that means basically is it's similar to making a pie crust, but we're basically just going to be making it so that you can use a fork if you want to, you can use your hands, or you can use something that's specifically for this, a tool that's specifically for it, but you don't need that. You're going to be making sure that the butter is spread throughout all of the flour. So you can use your hands, you can use a fork if you want to. I prefer to use my hands. So this is what I've done, and as you can see, it's kind of into the flour now. Now we are going to put all the wet ingredients together. So you will want 1 1/3 cups of buttermilk. This is a 1/3 cup here that I have. So I'm going to do 4 of these. And you'll do this in a separate bowl. Okay. And then you are also going to add the egg, the 1 large egg. And you're going to whisk that together. So I'm going to use a fork here. Till it's all nice and mixed up. And now we are going to add the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients. And if you wanted to add raisins or any other sort of dried fruit, this is the time that you would also do it. I'm not going to add any, but you can if you want. So make sure that you pour it in nice and slow. And now you're going to mix it together. Until it starts to make a dough. So this is what it looks like now that it's out of the bowl. As you can see, it's a little bit flaky. That is okay. That's actually how it's supposed to look. Believe me though, it's gonna taste delicious. So this is what we have here. You don't want to work it too much because it will kind of make it tough, but about this consistency is where you want it to be, where it is, you know, it's a firm piece, but it maybe has a little bit, it doesn't have to be perfectly put together. All right, so now we're going to actually get it ready to go into the oven. Go ahead. So what I am using is actually a cast iron Dutch oven. If you do not have something like that to put in the oven, that's okay. You can use just a pan with a piece of parchment paper on it, but this is what I am going to be using here. So what you'll want is you'll want to put the bread into wherever you are. Make sure you oil the pan, and then you're going to want to have a sharp knife, and you're actually going to cut a cross into it. Okay, so you're going to cut an X into it, and it's going to be nice and deep here. Traditionally, this was, the Irish people said that this was to let the fairies out. That was one of the reasons why they did this. The real reason why we do this is so that it will cook to the very center. Okay? So that is how our bread will look when we put it into the oven. And alright, so you're going to want to preheat your oven to 400 degrees. If you need an adult to help you with this, go ahead and let them help you. And once that's ready, you are going to put the bread in the oven for 45 minutes, or about so, all right? Once you've cooked this for 45 minutes, this is what your bread should end up looking like. It is going to be delicious, and I'm going to have a lot of fun eating it. Thank you so much for watching this Teens Create. If you are interested in the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, we do have some copies available, both physical copies at the Fayetteville Public Library and also digital copies that you can find on our virtual library. Thank you so much for watching this series, and make sure that you keep an eye out for more of this series, and happy summer reading.